Very good afternoon, dear students. This is Professor Anand here. Welcome back to Engineering Graphics class. So last class we had started with isometric projection problems, wherein we had solved two problems, wherein we solve how to solve different geometries like hemisphere, cone, then a cube and a sphere. So today we are going to cover some different type of problems and try to see how to solve them in manual type. So I'm keep on repeating this. So whatever problems and methods I'm teaching now, those all are with respect to manual method. Whatever drawings I'm solving here are all how to use the manual method. So in today's problem, so this is the problem we are going to see here. So draw the isometric projection of a rectangular prism of 60 cross 80 cross 20 mm thick, surmounting a tetrahedron of sides 45 mm, such that the axes of the solids are collinear and at least one of the edge of the both the solids are parallel to vertical plane, or you can say parallel to one another. So here there are two solids. First solid is a rectangular prism which is 60 cross 80 length into breadth, and its thickness is 20 mm, and this is surmounting a tetrahedron. So on top of this there is a tetrahedron whose sides is 45 mm, and such that the axis of the solids are collinear. It means the axis of the rectangular prism as well as the tetrahedron both are in the same line, and at least one of the edges of both the solids are parallel. So we have to make sure that at least one edge of both the solids are parallel to one another. So that is what the question says. So you all know rectangular prism. You are familiar with that. You have studied in solids. So before I start with problem, let me explain what a tetrahedron looks like. What is a tetrahedron? So if you just have a look here, so this is how a tetrahedron looks like, right? So tetrahedron is nothing but it is a kind of triangular pyramid which is having four equilateral triangles. Four equilateral triangles on all the side. Sorry, this is a square pyramid, not tetrahedron. Tetrahedron may look something like this. I'll just show you here. Okay. So this is how a tetrahedron may look like. There are four sides of tetrahedron. The base is a triangle and all the three faces are also triangle. It is something like your triangular prism, but the thing is that all the four triangles are equilateral triangle. It means if the base triangle is 45 mm of edge length, then remaining three faces of the pyramid are also of 45 mm only. So this solid is called as tetrahedron, means four sides and all the four sides are equilateral. So this is how a tetrahedron looks like. So this tetrahedron is sitting on top of a rectangular prism or rectangular slab, and the axis of the rectangular slab and this tetrahedron both are on the same line, both are on the same axis. Okay. Now if you look into the question again, there they have given only the sides of the tetrahedron. In the question they have mentioned that tetrahedron is 45 mm sides, but they have not mentioned what is the height of tetrahedron. The height has not been mentioned here, which is actually required to do it in the solution. So we know what is this edge length. This edge length is 45. I need to find out its height. So first we need to do that. First we need to draw the tetrahedron on a plain sheet of a paper, that is to the true length. I need to draw its top view, its front view, and then I should try to find out what is its height. Now, if you look from the top view, the tetrahedron will look something like this. You can see the base, that is the triangle. Then you can see the apex, and the apex is joined to all the three corners. So this is how it looks from a top view. So first let us draw this in the true length, it to its true length. First we need to draw that top view. So this you have to do it on your normal grid sheet, not an isometric sheet, because this I'm drawing it to the true length. So I'll take polygon option, number of sides 3, and edge length is 45. So I'm going to draw a triangle of 45 edge length. To this, I will find the midpoint of the triangle. So you can see this is the midpoint. Then I will join all the midpoints to the apex. From this apex to all the corner. So this is how the tetrahedron looks from the top view. Now I want its front view, because in the front view I can see what is the height of the tetrahedron. So right now this is the top view, which you can see over here. This is the top view. If I take the front view of this, so you can see this is the front view. In the front view, I can measure what is its axis length. If you can look here, I can measure the axis length in the front view. So for that, what you need to do is you need to project this. First, I'll project the axis. So I don't know what is the axis length. So I'll simply project it up to some length and leave it over there. Now, if I want to find what is its actual height in the front view, there is one condition that whichever slant edge of this pyramid is parallel to the xy line, that slant edge would give me the actual length in the front view. So this you might have studied in your engineering graphics laboratory when you are doing the development of surfaces. You might have come across in the problem of pentagonal prism, if you remember. Or else you can see here, there are three slant edges, 1, 2, and 3. Out of these three slant edges, this is the one slant edge which is parallel to xy line. This slant edge is parallel to xy line. So this slant edge will give me the length in the front view. So for that, what I need to do is take a line command from here. You project it till here. Okay. Now from here, I need to cut an arc of 45 length. The edge length is 45. So from this as the center, then 45 as the radius, I need to cut on this particular axis line. So I'll take center start end. So this is the center, switching off the ortho. Okay. So radius is 45. Enter. I need to cut the arc, right? So this arc what I have cut is 45 Then I will join from here to here. So this length is 45 because the edge length of the uh, tetrahedron is 45 So now I will make projection from here, then to this side, and this is the base. So this is how the tetrahedron will look like in its top view and front view. Now if I measure this height, it will give me the height of the tetrahedron from here to here. So if you look into this, this is the actual height of tetrahedron, 36.742 which is not given in the question. But this data I require to solve it when I am solving the any problem related to tetrahedron. Please remember, if you get any problem related to tetrahedron, first thing is you need to find the height of tetrahedron, and this is the procedure. In brief, I will repeat. You will just make the tetrahedron, join the corners to the apex. Then from the apex, you will draw the axis first. Then you will check that out of the three slant edges, which is parallel to XY line. From that particular corner, you will cut a length equal to its edge length, that is 45 So wherever it cuts on the axis, from base to that height will become your height of tetrahedron. This is the procedure. So now I know what is the height of tetrahedron. Using this, I can proceed for the isometric projection. Okay. So now I'll start the solution with isometric projection. So coming to the solution, two solids, one is rectangular slab, on top of that we have tetrahedron. So first I will draw the rectangular slab, on top of that I will draw the tetrahedron. So rectangular slab is 80 cross 60. So I'm starting from here. So this side I will draw 80, other side I will draw 60, or else you can change it also. If you want, you can draw say this side 60, other side 80. It's up to you. So this is 3, 5, 6, and 8. So 8 units I have gone this side. Then from this side I will go 6, 3, and this is 6. So from this side 8 units and back to 6. Okay, so this is 60, sorry, this is 80 by 60. Now thickness is 20 mm. So I need to go vertical 20 from each corner. So from this corner, vertical 1 unit, 2 unit. This is 20. From each corner, I have to go 2 units vertical, 20. And again from this side, 20. And again from this side, 20. Okay, so these are the edges to be joined for the top face. So now you join all the edges. Okay, so that becomes the rectangular slab of 60 of 80 cross 60 cross 20. Now the hidden edges has to be erased. So this edge and this edge will be hidden, which are inside. So these will not be retained. So henceforth, this is the first solid rectangular slab of 80 by 60 by 20. Now, on top of this, a tetrahedron is surmounted such that the axes are collinear. It means the axis of the tetrahedron and the axis of the solid are on the same line. So first I need to find the center of the top face to locate the axis. So I'll just take line. So this is 80. So mid will be 40 here. So from here to here I will draw, sorry, that is 30. Mid would be 40. So this point, so from here to here I will draw one line, and this is 60. So mid would be 30. So from here to here I will draw one line. So this intersection is nothing but the center of the box. So this is where the axis lies. So with this center, I have to draw the tetrahedron on top of this. Now if you look in this part, now if you look over here, so this apex, this center, if you look from the top, this apex is center is nothing but the axis point of the tetrahedron. So this point and the axis point of the rectangular slab will be on the same line. So that is what is given in the question. So if I'm able to draw this outside edge of tetrahedron with this center as reference, then I can easily draw this on the isometric sheet also. So what I will do is I'll measure what is the distance from midpoint to this end, 12.99, and I will measure what is the distance from this to this side. I'll just measure these two distances so that I can translate this distance over there. I will round off these numbers to lesser units so that it becomes easy to do it. Okay, so this is 13, this is 26. Okay, so from center back side this is 13, from here this is 26. To make it more easier, let me just name it. So let us say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is, let me say, apex O. Okay, so from O to edge AB, this side distance is 13. So that same thing I will draw here now. Okay, so I will take the line command. So I got the center. So I'll just delete this line because I know where the center is exactly. So this is the center. From here, I'll come 13 back. So 13 means here to here is 1 unit, and here center would be 13. But let me take it as 15 because 13 is difficult to count. So this becomes 13 from the center. So if I delete this line, you will be able to see it. So this is the center. From center, I have came back 15, which is nothing but this distance from center to here. This I have come back as 15. Now, right now I'm at this point. So this is 45 mm line. So I need to go half of 45 this side, half of 45 other side. So this is known. I'm just trying to reconstruct the base with the same dimension on isometric sheet. So from this side, I need to go 22.5 on this side. So 22.5 would be difficult for me to count. So from here to here, it would be one unit. From here to here, it would be 2 unit. So 22 means approximately little bit far. This side I can say a little bit on this particular side line. So 10, 20, little bit ahead I can say, not too much. Okay, the constraints are on. Let me switch off the constraint. In manual sketch, it would be simple for you to draw because you just have to use the help of the scale. So 10, 20, yeah, this would be somewhere approximately 22. Okay, so this side I have come 22.5 half. Please mute your mic. Somebody's mic is on. Emarani, please mute your mic. Okay, so from here to this side I have come 22.5 this side. Same length I am supposed to go it on the other side also to make it 45. So 10, 20, approximately 22 would be somewhere over here. Okay, so this line is 45, which I got it from here. From here I came back 15. From here I went half of 45, half of 45. So I got edge AB now. So only thing I required is C now. So C is at a distance of 26 from the apex. If you go straight from apex, C is at a distance of 26. So what I will do is from this is the apex point. From here I should go 26 further on the front side. So from here, this is 10, 20. I will go, this is 25. Little bit further would be 26. So this is point C, this is point A, and this is point B. So I will join all the three lines from here to here and then back to here. So with this, I got the base of the tetrahedron. This is the base of the tetrahedron, which is resting on top of the rectangular slab with both the axes are collinear. This is what actually I required. Now I know what is the height of tetrahedron. So from the center, I should go that much height vertical. So the height of tetrahedron is 37 mm. This is 37 mm. So I'll go height of tetrahedron 37 mm. So line. So this is the midpoint. From here, vertical I have to go. So look here. So vertical is from here to here. This box 1, 2, 3. This is 30. And 35 would be somewhere here. 37 little bit higher. Approximately 37 would be there. So this is 37. So now this line is the axis line of tetrahedron. Now this is the apex. So you know that all the corners are joined to the apex. So join corner A to apex, corner B to apex, corner C to apex. So take line. This is A to the apex, then B to the apex, and then finally C to the apex. So this is how tetrahedron will look like. So before that, let me remove the edges which are not visible to us. So the part of rectangular slab which is within this tetrahedron will not be visible to us. So that part we will erase. Okay. So this is how the final combination of the solids would look like. So we need to check whether we are satisfied all the condition. First is that both the axes are collinear. Yes, both the axes are on the same line. It is satisfied. Second thing is at least one of the edges of the solids are parallel, he says. So you can see that this edge of the solid and this edge of the solid are parallel to one another. So henceforth, it satisfies all the conditions which was asked. So after this, you need to show at least one dimension of the solid. So any one dimension. So this is one dimension for a solid, and then you can show the height of tetrahedron. So this is the height of tetrahedron. Okay. So yeah, that is how the problem is solved here. So please look into this. If you have any doubts, please ask me. So here, let me just explain it again. In this problem, we have two solids. One is the square prism, which is of 60 sides and 20 thickness. On top of that, you have a frustum of a square pyramid. So frustum, the base of the square pyramid is 40. Total height of the square pyramid is 60, and at a height of 60 it is being cut such a way that the top face of the pyramid looks like 20 square. So this combination of solids we have to draw it in isometric. So that is what it has been said here. First term of a square pyramid 40, height 60, rests on the center of the top face of a square block of 60 and height 20 So the base edge of the pyramids are parallel to the top edges of the square block. So you also says that the base edge of the pyramid are parallel to the top one. So obviously it will be parallel. So let us see how to start this problem in the isometric. So first we will draw the square base. Square base is of 60 and height 20. So line starting from here. So 60. So this is 3 and this is 6 units. 3 and 6. So coming on the other side, this is 60 and this also 60. So this is a block of 60 by 60 base. Thickness is 20 So from each corner 20 above. So from here again 20, and then from this edge also 20, again from this edge also 20. Then you will join all the top faces one by one. Okay, yes. So that makes the square prism. These are the hidden edges which will not be shown. I will delete those. So this becomes the first solid. On top of this, frustum of a square pyramid is resting. So the base of the frustum of a square pyramid is 40, height is 60, and top face is 20. So and both are collinear. So I should start from the center. So you know that this would be the center of the bottom face, square one. Now on top of this I have to draw a square of 40 by 40. So if this is the center, so obviously half of that would be 20 on this side, correct? So I'm taking this as a center. So on top of this, if I want to draw a box of 40 by 40, so from center, I have to come 20 this side. Then from here, I'll go 20 on this side, 20 on this side. So that will give me one edge 40 by 40. So look here, from center, I have come 20 this side. From here, I will go 20 this side. And from here also, I will go 20 this side. So this becomes the edge of 40 From center, I am trying to draw a box of 40 by 40. So now it becomes easier. From here, this would be 40, 40, and 40. Okay. So very simple. I did nothing. I just took the center. From center, I have to draw a box of 40 by 40. So obviously half of 40 I have to come this side, that is 20. So from this point, this side it will be 20, other side 20. So this becomes 40. Then from here 40, 40, 40. That's it. That's all I did. So I'll delete this line. This is not required. So now height is 60. So from center, I have to go 60 above. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60. So this is the axis for the frustum of the square pyramid. Now this, when this is the axis, so that now this becomes the center for box of 20 by 20. If you look into that question again, if you look into this question here again, in the top view, the bottom is 40 by 40, which I have drawn now. The top is 20 by 20, which is shown in the front view. This is 20, and the height of the frustum of the square pyramid is 60. So that's what I have done in the software here. I have come from the center to 60. Now from this point I have to draw a box of 20 by 20. This is the center. So from here I'll go 10 mm this side, and from here 10 mm on one side and 10 mm on other side. Okay, so now this becomes edge of 20. So from here now it becomes easy to draw 20, 20 and 20. That's it. So you can see that this is the axis, this is the center for the box. So from here half 10 this side, so 10 10 this side, so this becomes 20 and 20 20 20. So this line is not required, I will delete it. So you can see I got the bottom of the pyramid, top of the pyramid. Now I have to join the corners to corners. So this corner will be joined to this corner, this corner will be joined to this corner, and its corresponding corner to its corresponding corner. Okay, so this is the combination of solids. Now whichever is not visible, we need to trim it. So the inside part of this pyramid will not be visible, so I'll be trimming those parts as it is not visible to the observer. So these part won't be visible. Okay. Right. So these all parts will be hidden, which will not be retained in isometric. So this becomes the solution for the problem they have given. So if you observe this isometric view and if you observe the solution here, both, if you look into this top view and front view combination, so both will be the same. So this is top view and front view in orthographic projection. In the same manner, what we have drawn here is the isometric projection of the drawing. So you need to show one of the dimension. So I will show one dimension as its thickness, and other dimension I will show one of its side lengths or edge lengths. So this is one of its side or edge length. Okay. So is this problem clear? Any doubts here? Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, then we'll continue with the another 5 to 6 different varieties problem in the coming classes. Okay, so we'll wind up the class here. If you have any doubts, you can get in touch with me through message or call. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.